Harrison Ford reveals how Chicago made Indiana Jones the ultimate tough guy. A Hollywood movie prop collection so secret it's buried deep underground in the burbs. Plus, are you too young for the Barbie movie or too old for Lollapalooza? We'll find out on Jake's Takes. The biggest story in the world of entertainment right now, Hollywood has gone dark. With both the actors and the writers going on strike, TV productions around the world have shut down. There are no new scripts being written, and even if there were, there's no one to act them out.
You think I want to be standing out here in 90-degree weather? Nobody wants to be doing this. But we got to do what we got to do to get the union back.
Over 160,000 performers from the SAG-AFTRA union take it to the picket lines to demand better residual pay from the streamers, just so they can have health insurance.
The problem today is not that people aren't working. Unemployment is at an historic low. The problem today is that people are working, but they're still not making enough to get by.
Right here in Chicago, this affects hundreds of thousands of local workers, ranging from production designers to makeup artists, whose ability to make a living rests on productions moving forward.
We are asking for a fair wage, especially in streaming residuals. If you're on a streaming show, you get $1 checks, right?
Next up, if you have tickets to Madonna's Chicago shows, you may want to find something else to do that night. Madonna has canceled several of her summer tour dates, including her 2 nights at the United Center, but she says she does plan to reschedule. The Material Girl was set to kick off the tour this Saturday in Vancouver. The singer was recently hospitalized for what her manager called a serious bacterial infection. He does say a full recovery is expected. Madonna was set to be in Chicago August 9th and 10th. And finally, has Jamie Foxx been spotted around Chicago? Photos and videos from TMZ have shown the actor supposedly hanging out on a yacht on the Chicago River, even playing pickleball. But a source tells Us Weekly, while he's doing a lot better, he is taking things easy. We learned Foxx had a medical emergency in April. Then in May, we reported that he was rehabbing right here in Chicago at the Shirley Ryan Ability Lab. In 1981, the world was introduced to a fedora-wearing, whip-cracking archaeologist named Indiana Jones. And now, more than 40 years later, legendary actor Harrison Ford is picking up that whip for the 5th and final time with the adventure Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And Jake's Takes was the only show in Chicago Harrison sat down with in person to talk about the legacy of the character, Indy's Chicago connections, and why the character should never die. I love over the course of 5 films in 40 years, you have made so many interesting, unique decisions for Indiana Jones yourself that weren't scripted because you know the character so well. My favorite being when you were sick on the set of Raiders and said, "Can't I just shoot the guy?" Over the course of 5 films, what is a decision you've made about the character that is entirely you that you're most proud of?
The decision I'm most proud of is pressing to do this 5th film. We've been away from him for 15 years. That's enough time for him to change from the character that we've known to what you have left, which is an older man. I wanted to tell the story of that older man. I'd like the audience to understand what the history of those first films, what the result of that is.
I've got to tell you, when Han Solo died, I loved it, and I was okay with it, and it felt right in the sense of the story. I don't ever want to see Indiana Jones die. I don't want to believe that he's out there somewhere riding off into the sunset. I know that you were adamant for a period of time about feeling that Han should make a sacrifice. So I am curious, from an actor's perspective, I know you don't write these things, but what is the difference between a character who it's right for them to die and a character who, quite frankly, should live forever?
As with everything else, you have to consider the audience. We make a film for an audience. We have a sense of how that audience relates to that character. We have a sense whether there's value in watching him die, or, as you suggest, simply imagine that he rode off into the sunset. But it's a filmmaker's choice. It's not something I want to make.
Yes, you're a man of many talents. You studied under Professor Ravenwood at the University of Chicago.
Yes, I did.
You have Chicago ties. Indiana Jones has Chicago ties. I'm pretty sure
that I saw Indy rocking a Cubs shirt in this film whenever he throws a shirt on.
You did.
In what way do you feel like Chicago has influenced not just the man that you are, but in a fun way, the man that Indiana Jones is?
Well, Chicago's a pretty particular, tough town. Always was. Maybe always will be. I hope not. I hope it'll settle a bit, but it's a tough town, and Indiana Jones is, I guess he's a tough guy.
Indiana Jones stands alongside Star Wars' Han Solo and Blade Runner's Rick Deckard as legendary characters that the 81-year-old Harrison Ford has returned to play later in his career. Only time will tell if we'll ever see Jack Ryan one more time. And that is the perfect kickoff for today's list. This week, we're going to count down Harrison Ford's top 5 best performances of his incredible 50-plus year career. Coming in at number 5, 1988's Working Girl. Harrison gives us his best version of a modern-day Cary Grant in this classic Mike Nichols rom-com. For every action role Ford has dominated, he's also proven why he is one of the most underappreciated comedic actors, charming his way around the silver screen.
No names, no business cards, no you must know so-and-so.
What is this?
No resumes, let's just meet like human beings, for once.
Coming in at number 4, Witness, the only role for which Ford has ever received an Oscar nomination. He plays a cop hiding out in an Amish community. It is a performance that is both tender and heartfelt, again, proving that sometimes his best work is not when he's holding a whip or in a galaxy far, far away.
Aww. You're making a mistake. Hey.
Boom. We're going to come back later in the show with the rest of today's list. You don't want to miss it. What if I told you that Indy's whip, Captain America's shield, the Blues Brothers sunglasses are all kept in a secret underground prop collection just a few miles outside of Chicago? Well, they are, and we're going inside when Jake's Takes returns.
Jake's Takes on Fox 32 is brought to you by McDonald's.
The most patient among us know to be a slow sipper is to enjoy your drink from McDonald's longer than anyone else. There are drinks, then there are drinks from McDonald's.
Somewhere outside of Chicago, we're not allowed to tell you where, buried deep underground, there is a room.
Take a look at this thing.
And inside that room...
This is the treasure room door, and it's my treasure room door.
This is unbelievable. Lies pure movie magic.
Wow. Going in.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
We don't need roads.
Where? Back to the future.
This is the Mr. Fusion from Back to the Future 1 and 3.
He's on a hoverboard!
Hoverboard from the second and third film. 2. I collect this stuff because I love film. I love movies. I love TV. I love the art. I love the fantasy of it.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Collectors are very obsessive of all types of stuff, whether it's toys, stamps, coins. Prop collectors are no different than that. Prop collectors tend to come across as experts of a specific film. I don't think of myself as an expert, even though I collect this stuff, because there's so much information.
Dan Lanigan is, at the end of the day, a movie fan.
The Night Before Christmas.
This is Halloween, this is Halloween, pumpkins scream in the dead of night.
Mostly puppets, a few stand-ins, but set pieces as well.
He's made his passion his profession. He's a well-respected filmmaker and producer. But it's in this underground room, a museum to movies, its Chicagoland location sworn to secrecy, that you can best learn just who exactly Dan Lanigan is. Because while most of us just watch movies, Dan lives among them.
From The Matrix, this is Keanu Reeves' costume. Arnold Schwarzenegger from Terminator 2.
His 6,000-piece personal collection of iconic movie memorabilia is nerdvana for any fan of cinema history.
Here's Will Ferrell's costume from Elf.
Oh my God!
Corpse Bride.
From his collection of stop-motion models,
Beetlejuice Worm from Beetlejuice, that's a stop-motion puppet.
to his wall of weapons.
This Ghostbusters pack is from Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Harold Ramis wore this.
From some of the most iconic props ever held in cinema history.
That is the rock hammer.
Yes.
That Tim Robbins used to break out of Shawshank Prison.
It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
To maybe the most recognizable black suit ever worn on the silver screen.
I got into collecting because it's a way to get closer to the film. You know, you can watch the movie and that's great. You can't go out and live it, but if you have a costume that the actor who played the character and you set up on a mannequin, now all of a sudden that becomes the character.
And those characters are practically breathing inside these walls. Every prop, every costume, every wall-mounted movie monster is screen-used and authentic. What you see here is what you see in the movies, even the bathroom.
This is a working bathroom that is designed to look like the bathroom in the Moon, which actually a lot of the film takes place in. I found the right urinal and toilet and sink. And this door right here was one of the airlock doors from the movie. As you can see, gas may vent suddenly.
Dan's collection is so vast, he's had to put hundreds of extra treasures in a storage facility a few miles away. For safety purposes, he doesn't want us to reveal just where in the Chicagoland area this collection is housed. And while he doesn't allow just anyone to come down into this Temple of Tinseltown, he does hope that one day, everyone will get the chance to enjoy his collection.
My goal is to eventually put this stuff in a museum because I feel it's important to share these pieces that when I bring people down here and they get emotional about seeing a prop. That is Harrison Ford's suit.
Oh my God.
That means it's important and it's inspiring to people, and I want to give that reaction to other people. I don't want to just reserve it for myself and a few select people. There's a tangible feel to it. It's a very strong emotional reaction. And I think that's ultimately why I started collecting and still collect to this day.
On next week's edition of On Location, we're taking you inside the birthplace of some of the greatest animated movies of all time. We're going inside the top secret headquarters of Pixar. From talking dolls to jumping Tom Cruise, let's talk about which movies now playing in theaters are worth your time. I'm here now with fellow Fox Entertainment All-Star Amanda Salas from Fox in LA. Hi, Amanda.
Thanks, Jake. I love talking movies with you. Let's get to it.
It's the best day ever.
It is the best day ever. So is yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and every day from now till forever.
Barbie hits theaters in a couple of days. You and I were in the exact same theater in LA and watched it together. I know a lot of parents who are very excited to take their kids to see it. And then I also know parents who are just excited to see it by themselves. I'm not sure who this movie is made for. Do you think that kids are going to like this?
I don't think this is for the little Barbies. No, I do not. But they did market it really well for us millennial Barbies. I think this is a movie for millennials who will appreciate some of that nostalgia that Barbie and Ken bring with it. But no, for the little skippers out there, I don't think so.
It's funny. There was a Matchbox 20 joke that sort of lasted throughout the entirety that you and I laughed at very hard. But I remember thinking, I don't think an 8-year-old is going to laugh at a Rob Thomas song in a Barbie movie.
Exactly. There was that generational joke that we got. There's also a lot of Inside Baseball LA jokes, but you know LA pretty well. So Century City has a role in this Barbie film. So it is a little inside, a little niche, but overall, I mean, their marketing campaign deserves a big Barbie bonus.
None of our lives can matter more than this mission.
I don't accept that.
Tom Cruise seems to risk his life on a daily basis just to get our butts in theater seats. Did his incredible stunts make Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 worth the price of admission, or are people not able to get through that entire title before they're able to get to the movie theater?
People are definitely excited to see anything Tom Cruise. And I think after last year with Top Gun Maverick, people are even more excited to see what else he has in store. Mr. Stuntman himself. Like, bring on part 2,
Yes.
okay?
And when he goes to space, we'll go to space if we got to go to space. We'll do it.
Let's go to space.
I love
We'll do it.
Fox LA's Amanda Salas. Amanda, where can we check you out on all the social medias that the kids do?
You can check me out at Amanda Salas, and I will be posting lots of stuff like you post too, Jake, except I think you may have more miles than I do.
Yeah, but you have more charm, and that's all that matters. Amanda Salas, we love you. Thank you so much.
Love you back. Thank you.
And it's time to continue today's list, our countdown of Harrison Ford's best performances of his career. Coming in at number 3, Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's the most he's ever embodied a role, and maybe one of the best examples of an actor being associated with a character. Coming in at number 2, Ford has played the role of Han Solo 6 different times if you count the holiday special, but his performance during Empire Strikes Back is the best of them all. In a matter of 2 hours, he manages to be hilarious, charming, dangerous, and in the end, even tragic. Coming up, we're going to reveal the number 1 best performance of his entire career. Do me a favor, go ahead and grab something so you can throw it at your TV, because you're going to be shocked when I tell you what it is when Jake's Takes returns. But first, it's time for the Jake's Takes quiz of the day. Mark Wahlberg is the latest celebrity to have his own tequila brand and was actually in Chicago this week to promote it. Someone in Hollywood has to be dry, right? So let's have a little quiz. Which of these celebrities does not have a liquor brand? Is it Drake, Chris Noth, Megan Thee Stallion, Terry Bradshaw, or Kate Hudson? The answer when we come back.
Welcome to Stormy Heights, where the windows are always Pella, because the weather is always changing. Pella's fiberglass is the strongest material for windows and patio doors. They're tested from -40 degrees Fahrenheit up to 160. The fiberglass frame is even scratch and dent resistant. Pella Windows.
Save on replacement windows by Pella now.
Welcome back to Jake's Takes. It's time now for the deep dish with Kiss FM's and WGCI's Kiki, one of my all-time favorite people who loves to remind me I'm a nerd who needs to be put in my place from time to time. Kiki, we got 3 topics. You ready to go?
I'm ready, Jake.
All right, first up, it seems like the entire city right now has a sort of a shade of pink about it because of Barbie Mania. Are you feeling the Kinergy right now?
You know, I don't think we have a choice, Jake. Like, the Barbie marketing team definitely deserves a raise because we have to feel it. However, I'm not a Barbie girl. I was like watching The Real World when I was 7. Like, I didn't really get the Barbie thing.
So does that mean you're going to see it Friday or early show on Saturday possible?
You're right, because I'm definitely going to go see it.
Okay,
so probably Saturday.
Barbie or Oppenheimer? You got to choose.
I'm going to go with Barbie and Ken.
You're doing Barbie over Oppenheimer?
And I'm surprised. I'm surprised they didn't cast you. Like, you're not in there?
I'm not.
I mean, the hair is perfect. It's, yeah.
I'm not making Ryan Gosling money.
Okay.
All right.
All right, we need you here.
I want you to be honest with me. Have you seen Jamie Foxx around town? Because it honestly seems like everyone has seen Jamie Foxx around the city of Chicago. I feel like I'm the only one who hasn't.
Jay, this has been my mission for the last 2 weeks, okay? I know you were with Tom Cruise the other day, but this is the real Mission Impossible. Where is Jamie Foxx in Chicago? We both are here, and I haven't seen him anywhere. He's like playing pickleball everywhere, but we can't find him. I've been searching for this man high and low. You know, I've been praying for him for weeks now.
He owes you.
At least he can do is just come on Instagram and say, thank you, Kiki. I mean, hello.
All I'm saying is that WGCI and Jake's Takes are in the exact same building. Jamie, you could do 2 interviews at one time.
I mean,
Jamie, if you're watching, come on.
We're
waiting. Man. All right, Lollapalooza, just a couple of blocks that way, is just a few weeks away. Here's the big question, and I've been asking this for as long as I've been going to Lollapalooza. When are you too old for Lollapalooza?
Jake, I think I came out of the womb too old for Lollapalooza, okay? It's a lot going on down there. I'm fluffy and fine. It's a lot of heat. You know, I take my fan everywhere I go, Jake. And Lollapalooza is just not my scene, but I have to go for work every year, so I'll be there. But I definitely think I was born too old for it.
I gotta say, the older I get, the more I appreciate just a good seat. The ability to sit down, to know where the restroom is, to not have to maneuver my way through a bunch of sweaty teenagers.
Yes.
That's all I want out of life.
That's it. There we go.
All right, you can catch Kiki Monday through Friday, 5 to 10 a.m. on Kiss FM and Saturday, 2 to 6 on WGCI. Kiki, a pleasure as always.
Thank you for having me.
It's time for your takes, where you at home get to come at me with the biggest questions, concerns, and comments you have about entertainment in Chicago.
Hey, my name is Gabby and I'm from Michigan, and I was absolutely obsessed with the short right before Elemental, Up. I mean, like, crying uncontrollably. So I'm wondering if that was a possible teaser for part 2.
Gabby, that's actually a great question. I'm right there with you. It didn't take long for Carl's Day to bring me to tears. That short film that aired right before Elemental, unfortunately, is just that. A standalone short film that allowed fans to sort of revisit the Up world. Ed Asner, who was the voice of Carl from Up, recently passed away, and this short film was actually his final project.
Hi, I'm Felicia. I'm from Atlanta. And my question is, given the way that John Wick 4 ended, which was very upsetting, is this going to be the end of the franchise? Is there going to be a twist? Is there going to be a John Wick 5?
Felicia, this is a fantastic question. So the John Wick films are far too profitable to allow a thing like death to stop them. Ana de Armas is going to star in a John Wick spin-off film called The Ballerina, and we're also getting a spin-off TV series called The Continental, which will actually follow the early days of the hotel from the films. And yes, it is rumored that John Wick 4 ending might not actually be the end of the journey, as John Wick 5 is already rumored to be in production.
Hi, I'm Brandon from Chicago, and my question is in regards to the new Transformers movie and the teaser they showed with G.I. Joe at the end. Do you think that means G.I. Joe is going to do a collab with Transformers in the future?
Brandon, just like you, I geeked out hard when I saw them tease that Transformers and G.I. Joe might be crossing over. And honestly, yeah, I absolutely think it's going to happen. Both toys are owned by the same company, and the movie studio Paramount owns the movie rights to both. So logistically, it is highly likely that we're going to see a G.I. Joe and Transformers crossover movie very, very soon. As always, if you have a question for me, send it on over. Send your questions to jakestakes@fox.com. All right, it's all come down to this. We are wrapping up today's list, our countdown of Harrison Ford's best performance of his entire career. Coming in at number 1, What Lies Beneath. Easily the best acting work of his career. Ford is forced to play dual roles in a way, in a layered and terrifying performance that gives us something that Ford rarely ever shows on camera: the ability to be truly evil.
First time I met you, all I ever wanted was to spend the rest of my life with you. What's gonna happen now?
Coming up next week on Jake's Takes, we're going to take you to Rome, where we're going to preview the newest Mission Impossible adventure and talk with an up-and-coming actor named Tom Cruise. Has there ever been a stunt where maybe halfway through, right after takeoff, you thought, oh, this is scarier than I thought it was going to be?
Yeah, every time.
Every time. Plus, I sit down with the cast of Barbie, and let's just say they invited me into their Barbie world pretty quickly.
First, I want to point out the incredible Kennedy I'm feeling right now.
Wow.
I feel like you
duel?
have Kennedy, and it's impressing me.
My bro homie.
But that's all for this week on Jake's Takes. Until next week, I'm Jake Hamilton, and I'll see you at the movies.